not the usual way that I start off a vlog, but a shameless plug. My book Antarctica is finally here, and I'm really happy with the results. Thank you ever so much for those of you that have ordered a copy already. I really appreciate it. I wanted to plug it at the beginning of the video because just in case you don't make it to the end of the video. Unfortunately though, for some of you that live across the ocean there, the postage is just astronomical. I apologize, there's not much I can do about it. What I've tried to do is have a bit of value added by adding a print at a steal of a deal for $30. So you can get a print and the book for $50. And then of course there's shipping on top of that. The book costs the same amount to ship as it does with a print. That's why I've added a print. And right now I have a limit of 200 prints of some of the images that are in the book. But I might extend that to other images on my website so that you feel like you're getting a bit of a better deal considering how much the postage is. So I apologize for that. As I said, there's not much I can do about it. It is what it is, but thank you ever so much for supporting the channel and purchasing a copy of my book. Right, enough of that, that promotion. Today I've come down to Triple Falls, which I've done lots of videos about, but the reason why I've come down here is Colin was here yesterday and he was telling me that there's still some really nice groupings of erythronium, and I could just see them on the other side. Now I was a little bit worried that they might be finished, and on this side they're not looking terribly great, but I'm going to wade over and have a look, and perhaps I can get a shot of them either individually or in the foreground with the waterfall in the background. So I'm quite excited about that. The greens right now are just absolutely beautiful. So even if I can't get the flowers in the foreground, I'll probably look for some other greens. There's some beautiful mossy green boulders. The ferns are just coming up, and the big leaf maples have just come out. So the greens are really kind of electric, vibrant, almost like a lime kind of neon green. Right, I'm going to put my hip waders on and we'll wade on over and go and have a look at this scene over here. Well, it was forecast for rain on the island this weekend, but so the sun's trying to come out, so we don't really want the sun, but it would be nice to have some just bright overcast conditions, which seem to be happening right now. So for this scene here, now I'm looking at the lilies here, and some of them are looking a little tired. They're starting to just fade, but I think, I'm hoping anyway, in the image you won't really be able to notice that. Like usually when they fade, they just kind of droop with their petals kind of all squeezed together, but most of these the petals are still open enough to make it look really pretty or interesting. I can't believe it, there's also quite a bit of salmonberry around here, which are the little pink flowers. There's one right here. This is a little guy right here, and they should have finished weeks ago. It's just been so cold, so a lot of the flowers are lasting much longer, which is great for photography. So what I've done here is I have the wildflowers in the foreground and then the waterfall in the background. There is a lot of water coming over the waterfall, so I'm a little bit worried that it's just going to look like a big white blob. The other thing I'm having to do is focus stack. Because the flowers are so close to the front of the lens, there's just no way that I can get everything in sharp focus with one shot at f16 or f22. So I'm going to have to focus stack. So I'm just doing several images focused on the foreground, midground, background, and hopefully that will suffice. The other thing that I've noticed is that, I don't know if you can see this, but the wildflowers, because they're white, I don't want them to merge in with the waterfall. So if I get down too low, then of course they'll do that. So you have to be at just the right height. So ideally to have either the green foliage behind them or the dark water here. And what I've done to make it a little bit darker is put a Case Wolverine polarizer on, just to get rid of some of that glare. I'm not sure if it's going to be an awesome shot, but it's just great to see all these erythronium in the foreground. I've never seen them like this. And then actually behind the camera here, there's a huge grouping of them. Unfortunately though, they're looking a little tired, so I'm not sure if there's any decent shots there or not. I'll have to have a look after this. I kind of gave up on the close-ups because the flowers are looking a little rattier than I had first thought. I did go and have a look at the nice grouping over here, but they're looking pretty tired, so I've kind of given up on them. However, in the meantime, I found some really great greenery below me here. There's horsetail, and then there's a big leafy thing, and I'm not sure the name of it. Find out what the name is and I'll leave it in the corner here. But it's more or less just a pattern shot of these beautiful green spring leaves. And what I try to do when I find a pattern like this is look for perhaps one prominent leaf or a prominent kind of subject within that pattern, and then make sure that I don't cut any of it off. So let me just turn the camera around here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the pattern of leaves that I'm looking at, and what I've tried to do is I've looked for a composition without my tripod, and this is the leaf that I like the most. So that one I haven't cut off in the frame. These, it doesn't really matter so much, as long as there's kind of one prominent piece to the puzzle that stands out from the rest, then that's kind of what I'm going for. You can see there's a little bit of horsetail in here, and there's some nice green moss. It's not going to blow your socks off, that's for sure. It's just a nice spring green pattern that kind of drew my attention, so I figured I'd take a photograph of it. Funny, you know, like every time you come to a place or an area that you've been to many times, you always kind of think, well, have I out photographed it? You know, is there anything else to photograph? And that's kind of the way I feel with this place. I mean, I've been here lots of times, but I think I found a composition that I quite like. It's more of a landscape image than an intimate scene. And what I've done is I'll put a little video, a vertical video of the scene right now, but these rocks down here with the moss on them are really quite lovely. So I've got those in the foreground, and then Originally this stick, I was trying to hide it, but I've decided to just kind of have it just above the boulders down here. And then of course then we got the waterfall with the green mosses and ferns on the side here. So it's really quite nice. It is, the water, I mean, it would be nice if there was a little bit less water, but you know, you've got to kind of just make do with what you're presented with, I guess. Yeah, not a bad scene. Well, that wasn't a bad morning. Colin's just been standing around waiting for me.
Soaking it all in.
But I'd like to present you with this book, Colin.
Oh, kind.
So don't forget, if you'd like to check out my book, I'll leave a link up in the corner here. All right, thank you ever so much for watching again, everybody. I really appreciate it. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give me the old thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And I hopefully will see you next week. All right, till then, cheerio.